She-Ra, Princess of Power. She's the fierce, sword-wielding warrior princess who ruled Eternia. But what if I told you there's a side to She-Ra that hasn't been talked about much? Yeah, she's got the power, the awesome catchphrases, and the transformation sequence that had every kid glued to their TV. But let's get real for a second. She-Ra wasn't just created to be a hero. Nah, she was created to sell. And to do that, they needed her to be strong, sexy, and totally remarkable. Stick around to the end to find out why her design was more about merchandise than girl power, which She-Ra's voice actor used to work on an adult radio station, and the shocking rumors that Catra and Adora were more than just enemies.
He-Man, He-Man. Who's the big guy with the muscles?
He's He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Skeletor is his enemy.
He-Man, He-Man.
Alright, let's rewind. It's the early 80s and He-Man and the Masters of the Universe is everywhere. It's got action figures, it's got muscles, it's got everything a boy could want. And Mattel is making bank. But here's the thing, Mattel wasn't blind to the fact that there was a huge untapped market sitting right in front of them. Girls.
You've got the longest hair ever.
Totally hot, totally cool, totally hair Barbie. Comb it out, add some depth, gel it, scrunch it, now is it.
Sure, girls. Girls were into toys, but they weren't mainly buying dolls. And while those dolls were raking in the dough from Mattel, they noticed something. The He-Man figures weren't selling to girls. So they needed a solution. How do we get girls into the action figure game? And just like that, She-Ra was born. But here's where things get interesting. She wasn't just a female He-Man. Oh no. She was designed to be the perfect blend of strong and, well, sexy. Yes, you heard that right. They didn't just want her to be a badass princess. They needed her to be marketable, which meant making her appeal to both girls and boys. Just look at her. She's got the tight armor, the flowing hair, and don't even get me started on those legs. I mean, come on. She-Ra was definitely made to sell toys. But that's not all. Her whole design was about making her aspirational. She wasn't just a character. She was a style icon. Mattel didn't just stop with the character design. They saw She-Ra as a brand. She had the looks, the backstory, and the sword, which, by the way, was designed to be as flashy and as desirable as possible. Everything about She-Ra was created to sell. The dolls, the action figures, the playsets, even the clothes. Mattel knew that if they could get kids to want She-Ra, they'd be racking in the cash, not just from the show, but from the toys. And don't forget the boys. She wasn't just a hero for the girls. Nah, She-Ra was designed to appeal to everybody. They made sure She-Ra was strong enough to stand shoulder to shoulder with He-Man, but they also knew that her design had to catch the eye of the boys too. I mean, how many of you guys thought She-Ra was pretty hot? Be honest. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I mean, I know I wasn't the only one, right? Now let's get into the real fun part, the sexy factor. You know, the elephant in the room that nobody talks about. Look at She-Ra's transformation sequence. It's iconic, right? The music, the glowing sword, the slow motion spin, it was made to get your attention.
The day I held aloft my sword and said, "For the honor of Grayskull!"
And let's not pretend that She-Ra's costume wasn't a little bit revealing. Her skin-tight armor, the short skirt, the whole legs for days vibe, yeah, it's no accident. And honestly, she was designed to be empowering, but also eye-catching. Her entire aesthetic was based on the idea of creating a heroine who was as powerful as she was attractive, and that's what worked. She-Ra wasn't just a role model, she was a marketable fantasy. Now, let's dive into the voice actors who brought these iconic characters to life. And trust me, they have some shocking stories. First up, we have Melendy Britt, the voice behind She-Ra. She actually got the role of She-Ra after already being the voice of another 80s icon, Teela from He-Man. Talk about being a powerhouse in the animation world. But here's the kicker. Melendi was a last-minute replacement for the original She-Ra voice actress. Imagine that. You step into the role and the pressure's on to make this new character a smash hit. She also had a secret double life. Get this, believe it or not, Melendi regularly played villains in live-action soap operas like Dynasty and Falcon Crest, totally opposite from her heroic She-Ra voice. And the most awkward part of all, are you ready for this? Melendi once admitted that she had to tone down her voice because some of her early She-Ra takes sounded too seductive for a kids show. Producers had to reshoot several episodes. Do you think her voice sounded a little too sexy for a kids show?
Be careful, Bo. You don't have to prove anything to anyone.
Yes, I do.
Speaking of sex, one voice actor before the show recorded raunchy adult radio plays under a different name to pay for the bills in the 1970s. I'm speaking about the amazing Linda Garry. She voiced Tila, Sorceress, Shadow Weaver, Glimmer, and many more. She was like a one-woman army and voiced more characters in She-Ra than anyone else. At one point, playing 8 different characters in a single episode. But here's a scary fact. There was a huge chance she would completely lose her voice during the show. Midway through She-Ra's production, Linda lost her voice from overwork. Rumor has it, they nearly rewrote multiple characters because they thought she'd have to quit the show. But that's not all. George Desenzo, who voiced Hordak, was actually the only voice actor who recorded all of his lines for the entire series in just one day. One day. He did the whole thing in a single 12-hour session. Insane, right? George was also famous for blowing out microphones during Hordak's evil laughs.
I'll warp this ship to Eternia and conquer that too.
Engineers had to literally back the mic up 6 feet whenever George delivered his villain lines. Can you imagine Hordak in The Godfather? Well, George Desenzo wasn't just a voice actor. He was a trained lawyer and had worked with Marlon Brando early in his career. Hard to imagine, but 100% true. And here's something you may not have known. There were rumors circulating for years that the relationship between Catra and Adora was more than just a rivalry. Fans speculated that there was romantic tension between the two characters, fueled by the undeniable chemistry in their interactions. Some fans even started pushing the theory that Adora and Catra were lesbians, with their complicated feelings towards each other being a reflection of some sort of forbidden love. Now, to be clear, there's no official confirmation that the creators intended this dynamic to be romantic, but the subtext in their relationship was definitely open for interpretation. And hey, it's the 80s, representation was sparse back then. So it's pretty wild that fans saw something deeper between these two. But if you dig into the show, you'll notice that Adora's struggle with her dual identity and Catra's longing for Adora could be seen as a metaphor for something more. Did you notice anything like that as a kid watching, or more so now? Let me know in the comments. So, in the end, She-Ra wasn't just a cartoon hero. She was a strategic move by Mattel to dominate the toy market. And let's be real, it totally worked. The toys flew off the shelves, the show got kids hooked, and even though She-Ra was supposed to be a girl's version of He-Man, she became something bigger. She became an icon of the 80s.
This is Adora, He-Man's twin sister. The day she raised aloft her sword, Adora became She-Ra, Princess of Power, the most powerful woman in the universe.
Decades later, She-Ra is still around, whether it's in toys, collectibles, or even the new animated series. But the truth is, without that perfect mix of power, sex appeal, and marketing genius, She-Ra might not have been the legend she is today. So the next time you watch She-Ra, just remember, she wasn't just a hero, she was a marketing masterpiece. A sword-wielding princess designed to inspire and to sell. And honestly, I'd say it worked pretty damn well. She was strong, she was sexy, and she was everything you could want in an 80s toy franchise. I'll catch you in the next one, where we're diving into more of your favorite 80s and 90s cartoons, revealing the wild stories behind them. Comment your favorite fact below and let me know if we missed anything. Until then, stay nostalgic and stay cheeky.